Creating your ideal self starts from one place. One thing that I've learned and I'm huge on is the way that you look at yourself. And as a construction business owner, it is so easy to have bad things happen in a day. There might be problems, there might be issues, there might be a lot of things that you've got that you lack in your business that you need, that because of that, there's regular issues. Now, when you have issues within your company, it's very easy to put them down to it being a bad day. But the reality is, you might have only had 3 problems, yeah? So 3 issues in your business, all they are is 3 issues. And if you go back to all of them, they're probably because you don't have the right things in your business. And that can be anything. This can be staff, yeah? When back in the day when I was going through issues with staff, and I've had real issues, I've had issues where I've had members of staff pull a knife on me, yeah? I've had issues where I've had threats to my life for getting rid of people. I've had real issues with staff, but it's common stuff. This is the construction game, It's not for the faint-hearted. But if you're someone who has problems in their business, then you probably are the one to blame for that. And a simple reason being is all of the issues I've had with my business is because I've employed the wrong people, yeah? So when you have an issue with a member of staff, or you have an issue with a client, or you have an issue with something, the issue started with you. So you've got to blame yourself. You've got to blame number one, okay? But it's so easy, yeah, when you have these issues to see that as a bad day. It's not. You've got to go back to the bones of everything, right? 3 problems, yeah, that's not a bad day. There's 3 things that you need to learn on and to be better on. Yeah, so look into the problems. Don't just say, oh, I'm so stressed, oversee the problems, override the problems. No, let's go back to let's go back to the bones of it. Like with everything. Everything is about foundations, yeah? A problem arises. Okay, but why did that happen? Because he's a difficult member of staff. Oh, right. So who's that? Whose fault's that? Me. Why is it my fault? Because I employed him. Did I know he was tricky? Yes. Did I know he was at the start? No. Did I find out he was? Yes, and keep him on. Right, okay, so I'm the issue here. I shouldn't have employed him, he needs to go. Yeah, and once you do that as well as a boss, those things there, that creates a funnel where people within your business know that you don't take rubbish. Yeah, you don't take nonsense. You don't stand for it as a boss, as an owner of the business. And what that does is that creates culture. Yeah, because people now respect it. If people are taking the piss out of you as a boss, right, and you're letting it slide, people are going to do the same. They're going to think it's acceptable, yeah? But this is where you as a boss have to stand firm, and you have to see yourself as someone who doesn't take rubbish, okay? Who doesn't stand for it. Who doesn't stand for it, yeah? Because everything is on you as a director. You started this company. You employed these people. You didn't put the systems in place. You still haven't, yeah? You're still doing the same thing. Some of you might be drinking still and wondering why your business is failing, But you get discipline. You need to look after yourself. You need to be accountable first before anything. Everything, as I said earlier, is about foundations. One thing I'm massive on is personal development as a director. Look at the shape I'm in. Look at the shape I'm in as a director. A lot of you are saying, oh, I can't get to the gym. I'm too busy. I am still a scaffolding. I'm now a mentor. Yeah, I'm getting busy as a mentor, right? I do YouTube. I'm blowing up online. I have systems in place and processes that make all of this possible whilst doing morning cardio, whilst going to the gym, whilst upholding relationship, whilst looking after my family, I do all these things. I've got time. Yes, I'm busy from 4 a.m. till 9 p.m, but doing high value stuff. I'm always moving forward. Yeah, and that's because I see myself as someone who can handle it. I see myself as someone that the people need. But a lot of you are not seeing yourself as your ideal self, yeah? So this is where you need to go back to the bones of everything, right? All the problems you have, what do they stem from? Me. Why is this? Because I don't see myself as a high-level person. How do I see myself as a high-level person? Your morning routine, yeah? But before we go there, right, what I want you to do, and this is what I tell my clients to do, this is what I tell anybody that's struggling to do. At the minute, you're seeing yourself as this. You're low value. Stuck in a rut, in your business. You don't know where you're going. And why is that? Yeah? Because that's how you've always been. You are stuck in a negative setting by default, and you need to get out of that. You've got to break that now, yeah? You might think you're depressed, you might think you're stressed, you might think you're, struggling and all of this, right? Get out of that, yeah? Step outside of that. That's not real. Yeah, what you need to do is have a moment with yourself and write down, yeah, who do I want to be, right? And when I'm that person, how am I going to feel? Okay, and when I'm there, when I walk into that room full of people, how am I going to react? And how are they going to react? And how are they going to feel when I leave that room? Yeah? Write down the best version of you on all of those things. Yeah? Once you've written those things down, you've created your ideal self. So now what we do is when we wake up the next day, we do morning cardio, right? We're going to do affirmations, okay? Wealth affirmations, mindset affirmations, anything that's positive and productive and will elevate you. They're all over YouTube. Anything you're struggling with, if you're a negative person, if you're a bit stroppy, if you're a bit grumpy, what's the opposite of that? Type in that word and put affirmations at the end of it and listen to what is on there. Bang in your headphones. Cool. Positivity affirmations, right? Now we're on the treadmill. We've got it set to level 15, yeah? On the incline, 5.5 kilometers an hour. We're moving. We're going to do this for half an hour, yeah? We're going to start with the affirmations first, right? So the affirmations, we're doing them. Whilst we're doing the affirmations, we are going to picture our ideal self. Picture that man, yeah, or woman. Who is that ideal self? What have they got around them? I can see it coming to me now as I'm saying it. I'm creating my ideal self. I'm holding it there. He's staring back at me. I can see him. I'm building that connection to my ideal self, to that person that I'm going to become and that I am. I can feel that I'm that person. No one else is seeing it yet, but I know I'm that person. I've created that, yeah? Once you start and you're walking on this incline walk towards this person, you're doing his affirmations and you're seeing the vision, yeah? And he's looking back at you saying, come on, keep coming, I'm waiting for you. And you're creating that connection there to your ideal self. You hold that in your head all day. Once you get off that treadmill and your affirmations are done, your first win of the day is secured, yeah? You're now broken a sweat, so you're feeling good, all right? And you know who you are. And no one's going to tell you otherwise. You know who you are. You know what to stand for. And that there is the foundation. That is unbelievable, yeah? That's life-changing stuff. I'm telling you now, if you're someone there who thinks you're depressed, you're stressed, as I said earlier, the world's against you, all of this, do that thing there and do it solidly for 5 days. Do it on Monday morning and do it till Friday. I guarantee you're a different person by Wednesday. Probably before that. You'll feel the benefits on Monday. And that's what I say to anyone is, listen, hold yourself accountable every single time. Yeah? Forget about motivation. Be disciplined, right? When a mistake comes up in your business, cool, we override it. Let's deal with it. Solutions. Let's go. I'm not emotionally involved. I was up at 4:30 this morning when you lot was in bed. I know who I am. Yeah? I know who I am. Off the back of that, your business, you start to create a culture of winners because you're leading from the front. And in construction business alone, you have to be a leader. And it's a physical lead because the boys are out there doing physical jobs. Yeah, so you, as number one, have to be up and out first and foremost. Yeah, get out the door. Get out the door, get on that treadmill, break a sweat, do your affirmations and hold yourself accountable. Because if you do those things, life will change and that is a fact. Yeah, you are your own foundation. Your business started with you. And your business will end with you, all right? Anywhere you go, that business is going to follow. Me and my boys, yeah, the lads that work for me, anyone that comes on this firm, they might come on out of shape, yeah? They get in shape or they want to get in shape very quickly. We're a firm that trains, yeah? We're a firm that is aware of mindset. I talk to the boys, yeah? If I see someone down, I'll have a chat with him, yeah? And listen, the first thing I say is go and train. Guarantee you now. Any lad who's struggling mentally or has ever struggled mentally on my firm, they don't train. The boys that do train, okay, the boys that do train but are grumpy in the mornings are the ones that train in the evenings and do nothing in the mornings. The happy as Larry ones, yeah, I can tell when the boys have been to the gym in the morning. There's a massive difference in them. They're up, they're alive, yeah. I've got to run a business. I've got to keep people high level. I've got to mentor people now. Which, listen, got's the wrong word. I get the opportunity to do those things and I love every minute of it. But I'm going to make sure that anyone that crossed paths with me that day, yeah, that I've given myself the best chance of making sure that when I leave that person, they feel good. Because if they do, they're going to stick with me. And the chances are, if I'm dealing with them, I want them around me, you know? I cannot do what I'm doing without my boys. I cannot do what I'm doing without the people that I'm mentoring, you know? I cannot do what I'm doing without my media team for the YouTube and online presence. And I cannot do what I'm doing without people that are backing my stuff online. So I need to repay that by when they see me that I'm good energy and I'm high spirits. And the way that I do that and give myself the best chance possible of doing that is my morning routine. I set the standard from the beginning. Yeah, I'm not reliant on anyone or anything. Yeah, I'm a lone soldier in the way that I'm up and I'm out. Yeah, and then within that, listen, you can't be a lone wolf. Yeah, we need, there's power in numbers, right? With the right numbers. Yeah, but the only way you have the right numbers around you is by being a positive number one. Yeah. Don't wait for inspiration, be the inspiration and carry people with you. Because listen, you can have 100% of absolutely nothing, or you could have 50% of something monstrous. And that's why, let people eat as well. Yeah? When my boys do something good, or when there's something that needs doing, or money is what talks, 100%. Yeah? But sometimes it's longevity, it's seeing what is in the future. Yeah? Seeing what's going to come of it, you know? But it all starts with you. Creating that vision, you seeing yourself as number one. You have to see yourself as high level. You have to see yourself as a director, as a boss, as someone who does more than just a 9 to 5 struggling in that business, or an 8 till 4 or 7 till whatever it may be. You know, you've got to be high level, yeah? And the way you become high level is by raising your frequency to a high level. And how do you do that? Getting up, getting out, doing your cardio, doing your affirmations, and seeing yourself as that high level person. And the crazy thing is, once you start to believe it, you start to become it. And anything I've ever done in life, I saw it first and then I've held it. And it's a massive part, massive, of success. And I don't know what it is, right? It is a massive thing where I put out there that I need something and I work hard, I get up and get out. Something sat up there in this universe, I don't know what it is. Call me a Fruit Loop, but it brings it to me. There's a reward system out there. I don't know how it works, but when I'm up and I'm out, the rewards come to me. I don't know what it is. I've not got a clue. I don't actually know what it is that does it. But when I'm up and I'm out and I'm seeing myself as my higher level self, things are different. And trust me, I never used to do this. And when I never used to do this, all them years ago, I was in a rut. I nearly went bankrupt. I was in a terrible relationship. My head was in a rut. I actually got to the point, where I struggled to look people in the eye because I felt that low about myself. My mental health was on the floor. I actually had days where I had thoughts where I didn't even want to be here anymore. Do you think this person now is going to be that? No. I love myself to bits. I think I'm the man. And that is fact. And the reason why I can say that is because I'm up and out every single day. I do a lot for people, and I love what I do. I love every minute of it. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I back myself. And when I see someone else, whether they're younger and they're on their thing, like I've one of my boys now that works for me, he's starting a clothing brand. That is amazing, brilliant. I'll see all my boys elevate. And if it meant, if they all flew the nest and I had to then get the next batch in, brilliant. Listen, I love seeing people elevate. I'm here for winners. And this mentoring thing now, I'm going to build competitors. I didn't even look at it like that. Someone said it today at the gym. Said, but aren't you building competitors? And I thought, yeah, I am, but so what? Listen, so what? And even the level of probably, someone you would say arrogance, but the level of confidence, right, is that Stella's the brand. Stella's what started all this, And listen, I don't even see it as that anyway. I want this, so cool, bring the competition on, let's be better. But if I've been a part of seeing them do well and bypass me, unbelievable. You have to really get hold of yourself. You have to see yourself as something special, right? Not something special as in you're a dinlo and you think you're better than everyone else. But just you know your worth, and you know that you do what you're supposed to do. You're a provider, and it's not in a way that anyone owes you anything. That's not how we deal with this. We're a winner, and we provide opportunities because we want to, and because we need to, because we need other people with us. One thing I hate in business is when people get into all the, I owe you this, I did that for you. Oh my God, that's rubbish. That's such rubbish, weak mentality. Just be in it together. Do you know what I mean? Just elevate together. And that's why I don't do favours either. And I've gone off track a little bit, but it's still relevant. I don't do favours. Do something for me, I'll do it back for you. I'll repay you. My thing normally 9 times out of 10 is paying someone. Might be good money, might be bonus, might just be standard wages. Depends what's been done. But you repay. But all of it is see yourself as high level. Create your ideal self, and then take it to the treadmill and go and see it. Another little thing as well is write down all your regrets. And I guarantee you, all your regrets are all these things you should have done that you didn't. And I don't mean things from 10 years ago, breaking up with Leslie or cheating on Sarah. Things from the day before that you regret. And all of it will be things that you didn't do but should have done. So for a little framework for you, we've already touched on the morning cardio. I know a lot of you are doing it, that's brilliant. Little framework. Write down your regrets from the day before. That's massive. Create your ideal self. Go do your morning cardio. Listen to your affirmations while seeing your ideal self. Go and attack your day. If you do that, even if you've got a bad business and your business is struggling because you're not doing what you should be doing within the business, even if that's the case, you will still feel a million times better. And the chances are, because the universe crazy reward system, things will start to change anyway. Even if you're not good enough as a director, or you're not doing things you should do, or you've not learned enough, or you've not researched, or and I guarantee you that member of staff who was the weak link, and when your respect levels for yourself rise, they're not going to be there anymore, and someone better will come, because people want to be around winners. And that's why for me it's so easy to recruit. I've got lads that are unbelievable waiting in the sidelines, lads that most firms would dream of having on. My firm is so strong to the core, and it all starts with me. I am the brand, my attitude, my beliefs, my work rate, what I stand for. And that all started with me creating my ideal self and then becoming it.